Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman. And today, the surprise is Valaverse's Action Force Eclipse. Let's get into it. Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top we have Valaverse Action Force. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong in there. Little sliver of a window. On the front of the packaging, nice big window showcasing the figure and her accessories. Action Force 14 and up Eclipse. On the bottom, Action Force Valaverse print. Don't give it to the babies. Products and colors may vary. A barcode, made in China print, and all kinds of other small fine and legalese print here. On this side, Eclipse, Wave 301, Figure 1. And some nice artwork there. And on this side, Action Force. And on the back, we have at the top the cross sale, Collect Action Force Series 3, each sold separately. And then it shows you Kill Switch, Eclipse, Pandora, and the Steel Brigade version 2. Scan for additional Action Force products. Cut and save combat profile. And here it is. If you want to take a look at it, you can pause it here and read all that. I'm not gonna read all that out to you. Action points! 2. Valaverse.com. Follow Valaverse on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Valaverse can save points for future promotions. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and her accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers. And let's start out with the extra sets of hands. There's 3 of them, just like most Action Force figures have. C-grip, left and right in and out hinge, nice molded detail, a couple of paint apps, and that goes for all of the hands. And again, they're all in pairs of left and right. That was C-grip. This is weapon cradle hand, at least that's what I like to call it. And then set of fists. And again, everything I said about the first set of hands all holds true for the other 2 sets as well. And here we have her rifle. Has a lot of nice molded details. I do believe it's molded in black plastic, and then this color are the paint apps. Again, there's a port right there for the weapon magazine, and let's talk about that next. She does come with 3 magazines, and they're all the same. Nice molded detail on them, molded in black plastic. And they just slide right up in that port. That does it for that. And again, there's 2 more of those, and they are the same. Here we have her sidearm, which looks like the same sidearm we get with Swarm Troopers. So nice molded detail, all molded in black plastic. Next up we have her knife. Nice silver paint app for the blade, molded in black plastic. And it does have some nice molded details in there. Looks really cool. Then we have something we don't get a whole lot of. We do get it some, not a whole lot, with Action Force, and that's an extra head. And this one is wearing, I don't want to call it a turban. I know that's not quite right, but a head and face covering, similar to what they wear in the Middle East. Hajib. I'm not exactly sure, so if I got that wrong, it wasn't meant to offend anyone. But it does have some nice and very interesting pattern paint apps for the cloth portion, and then nice paint apps for what you can see of the face, the eyebrows, the eyes, possibly even eyelashes. So it's a very nice head sculpt, and I do like the fact that the neckerchief that she comes with does match up to that, so you can take this off when you're using this head, like she's used this to cover her head. And then that brings us to the neckerchief. It does have that same pattern on it, which is cool. Not so much on the underside. That's okay, because you don't really look at that a lot. And again, it's got the tasseled edges there that have a paint app on them as well. Here's her body armor, and it does have 2 mushroom pegs on the side, although they are much smaller than what we've seen with the male Action Force figures, and then 2 ports on this side where they just port together. 2 magazine pouches, and it looks like they're just glued on there. It's got this tampo. It's got several areas of dry brush all over it. It's got these straps painted up silver for these buckles on the front, and these buckles on the front as well. So overall, very nice looking piece. The last accessory, the Action Force stand. Everything that we've come to expect from an Action Force stand. Action Force embedded down into the diamond plating, 4 posts, and a channel in the back for when it's on display. You can put a background behind it, or what I think it was intended for, the file card. And it's all painted a nice silver. Now that brings us to the figure herself. And I will have to say, I do like the face sculpt on this figure. And it does have some nice paint apps. I'm sure they're probably using some kind of paint or printing technology similar to what Hasbro's using now to get this level of detail on the face and eyes, get everything straight for the most part. And we also have this hair clip here as a paint app, and then across the torso she has some paint apps. I think this across the shoulders and this down the sides. And this knife sheath, I do believe, is glued onto this belt. It's molded in color, as well as the belt itself. And we come to the belt that holds her pants up, I'm assuming. That's what it's for. And it does have a nice paint app on it, and they didn't paint over the belt loop, so that's always good. It's a detail a lot of action figure manufacturers miss got some paint amps on the pants. The thigh pads, I guess is what they are. I don't know. Knee pads here. It's got some silver dry brushing across them to give it that real world used feel. Same dry brush on the shin armor here. And then it's got some paint apps for these straps on both sides. But for the most part, it's molded in this color. The foot as well. I do believe this is a paint app, as well as this strap and this heel protector. Maybe that's what that is. And then we've got the sidearm holster here. It does have 2 spare clips in it, or magazines. They are not removable, just paint apps, and I do believe it's all painted in, well, I'll take it back. I think it's molded in this black color, and then this is a paint app, and then this is glued on. Let's take a look at her articulation without the armor, because once you have the armor on her, you practically lose this joint right here. Excuse me. She can look up that far, and you can see she's on that hinge and ball system. Looks down that far. She can chicken neck. She's got some waggle. Can do the full exorcist. No butterfly at the shoulder. Can do a full 360 degrees of rotation though. And raises up slightly better than 90 degrees. And then doesn't want to go back down. Then at the upper bicep, it's cut for 360 degree rotation there. Double hinged pinless knee. Wrong. That's a knee. That's an elbow. Double hinged pinless elbow. 360 degree rotation at the wrist. On the trigger finger hands have up and down hinges, and that does apply to both of them. Then where the chest and abdomen meet, there's a cut also at the waist, and those two working in conjunction, she can lean back that far, forward that far. She can lean left and right. She's got all kinds of hula hula. Now at the waist, you can get a little bit of twist out of it, but the way that it's molded, it really does not want to do a full 360 degree rotation. You could probably force it to if you wanted to. I don't really recommend that. And then where the chest and abdomen meet, you can get a full 360 degree rotation there. At the hips, on a pull down hinge, she gives you the full splits. She can kick forward that far. Wow, kicking people right in the face. Back maybe about 2.5 steps. Cut at the upper thigh for a full 360 degree rotation. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend, so that's pretty good. Then in the shin at the top of the boot, a boot cut for the last 360 degree rotation. Then at the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as accessory storage goes, we'll be right back. Now that we've gotten that vest back on there, let's take a look at the figure with the alternate head on it. Maybe. And again, I'm going to have to take it off screen. And here she is with the alternate head on. Of course, she can't wear the scarf with this head on. But I have to say that does look nice, although it's really, you don't really get a lot of the articulation out of it, and see, it just pops off when you try to articulate it any. So we'll just go ahead and slide the scarf, or whatever you want to call it, back on. Pop the regular head back on, and put her sidearm in the holster. Put her knife in the sheath, and they both stay on there pretty good due to friction. No movement that you don't want. And her magazines for her weapon go right here in the pouches, and again they stay in there fairly secure due to friction. You really have to pull them out. They won't just fall out. At least that's been my experience with it. Let's see, where'd that other magazine go? Here, I was looking around for the other magazine and I forgot to put it in the rifle already. So as far as rifle storage goes, she just holds it in her hand. And of course, let's not forget the stand. There's peg, there's port. Put them together, and you've got a figure on a stand. That, my friends, does it for a look at the figure and her accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Valaverse Action Force Eclipse with the Valaverse Action Force Steel Brigade version 2 and the Valaverse Action Force Pandora. Here we have the Valaverse Action Force Eclipse with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cover Girl and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Zarana. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Action Force Eclipse with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, we have the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Valaverse Action Force Eclipse, I have to say, with Wave 3 being Valaverse's first foray into female figures for this line, I have to say I think they hit it. They hit the nail on the head. I think they really did a good job on these female figures and making them just as awesome as their male counterparts. And some of the variants of the figures, which I don't have the Bloody Pandora. I wish I would have gotten that when I had the chance, but I didn't. But I did get my hands on the Warpath Eclipse, and what a great version of this character that is, as well as this one. I do like that the scarf she wears around her neck like this, the pattern on it matches the Hajib, I'm not sure what it's called. The head cover and face covering, alternate head for this figure. I like how that matches up. I like the way that head looks anyway. It's very striking. The pattern and the paint on it, and you know, so it's just a good looking addition to an already good figure. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further. Or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.